Good morning, welcome to our morning call of Giovanella Huxleer Capital Funds. I am Solomon von Herklestein and today is July 17. Be welcome, let's go to the news. The US shattered its record for the number of new infections of COVID-19 with 17,300 recorded on Thursday. That looked the total number of infections above 3.5 million in the USA. COVID-19 related death rose to an estimated 1924, their highest since early June. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said, however, there is no shutdown coming. Further, the number of cases in Brazil passed 2 million, while India stopped at 1 million. Both figures are likely underreported due to less than comprehensive testing in those countries. The bubble in Chinese stocks could be over already. Chinese market stabilized Friday, but the main indices all ended the week with losses of between 40 and 5%. The move follows a change in signaling by state-owned media and banks this week that quickly reversed some of the more exuberant buying seen in previous week by a retail investor. We call yesterday this news. The news comes against the backdrop of more negative briefing by US officials with regard to China. The Wall Street Journal reported on Thursday that administration officials are discussing banning travel by China's Communist Party members and their families to US. While other reports this week have noted a ban on short-form video service TikTok over data integrity concerns. US stocks are set to open mostly higher to end the week on bargain hunting after a weak labor market that on Thursday knocked the main index down by over 0.5%. The Dow future contract is up 78 points, while S&P 500 future contracts 0.4% and Nasdaq future contract 1%. Relative light day for earnings is set to be dominated by asset manager BlackRock, which reported 22% gain in per share earnings for the second quarter, somewhat better than expected. The data calendar highlights Michigan consumer sentiment at 10 a.m., along with June data for housing start and building permits both 8:30 a.m. European Union leaders are meeting in person for the first time since the pandemic in Europe to discuss the bloc's plan for a 700 billion euro recovery fund that would mark the big step yet toward centralized fiscal policy and explicit transfer for richer countries to poorer ones. The Brussels summit is unlikely to reach a formal agreement on the European Commission's plan, despite strong backing from Germany and France, traditionally the most influential members of the bloc. Resistance to a proposal for up 500 billion euro in fiscal transfers being led by Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte, who said on his arrival at the summit that he sees the change of deal today at less than 50%. The euro nonetheless advancing to its highest over 4 months before it raises is likely to trade 1.1413 up 0.3% on the day. Netflix stock is set for a rock ride after the company warned for a sharp slowdown in subscriber growth over the rest of the year. The world's biggest streaming company added another 10 million subscribers in the second quarter, living up to expectations that it would be one of the biggest beneficiaries of lockdown across the globe. However, it expects only 2.5 million new users in the third quarter, half of what Wall Street has been hoping for. At the same time, it's also raised Ted Sarandos, the head of its Rollywood operation, to be co-chief alongside Reed Hastings. Netflix stock was quoted down 7.5% in pre-market trade, pairing loss over 15 at one point in after-hour trade on Thursday. Thank you very much. This is our morning call. See you tomorrow.